somehow David and I got put together. Ooh,
It's annoying it does that.
sorry.
Sorry, I've just pressed record.
David and I got, I think, put together probably by Gare, actually, I think, a number of years ago, and it's something we wanted to try and do, is put together this North Channel disabled relay team. But obviously, you know, life gets in the way, and certainly these last couple of years have got in the way of getting that achieved. But since we've come out of lockdown, we've so far managed to put together the team, and you know, I for one am very excited about undertaking the challenge. So you know, that's really it in a nutshell from where I'm coming from. You know, I did a English channel relay this summer with some friends from Yorkshire, which was great fun. Done various other bits and bobs, and I do things outside of swimming. Obviously, ice swimming is one of the things that I do, but I do other things outside of ice swimming. So I've got quite a packed schedule for next year, in the water and out water, which I'm really looking forward to. So that's me.
Cool. And do you see this, Jonty, as being like something that's going to really raise awareness about amputees and some of the barriers that people face and things like that?
Yeah, I hope so, because you know, there's no reason why there should be, you know, barriers, really. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine at the weekend, and you know, I don't want to be a good disabled swimmer. I want to be a good swimmer who happens to be disabled, and to me, that's a big nuance. And it's, you know, it's about equality. It's about being, you know, being seen as a peer, that you just so happen to have bits missing or whatever your disability is. So yeah, I'd like it to be out there that, you know, you can do, you know, crazy things. And as I said to David, why should the able body have all the fun? As simple as that.
And like you say, like, you know, the barriers that are there might be just psychological and all that kind of stuff for people or whatever, but yeah, certainly swimming should be something that's really accessible for people and universal.
Yeah, the swimming community. I mean, I can't really comment on the pool community, because, you know, I don't spend that much time in the pool apart from just the usual what we all do, training. But the open water community, and I've got some friends who've come, you know, who are on this. It is the most welcoming community, and everybody in my experience, you know, I've swum all over UK, Europe, and America, and everyone just helps. You know, there's no, oh, we're not going to, you know, I just don't find any reason why, you know, you wouldn't do it, because if you ask for help, I find that the open water community, there are hundreds of hands that come out and say, yeah, grab my hand, I'll help you, get in, get out, whatever, what do you need us to do? So I think the boundary may be in people's minds, you know, that people may have experienced prejudice at doing other sports, and they don't realize just how welcoming the open water community is, you know, irrespective of background, creed, or anything. It's great. It's why I love it so much.
Yeah. No, definitely. And no, I had some interesting conversations the other day about my day job with people, and we're talking about engaging some young people who were around their sexuality and stuff, who'd come out, and they were and this youth worker was like, but we couldn't take them into a swimming group. I was like, well, you'd probably find that a lot of people in these swimming groups have had sort of challenges and overcome things from all different angles, you know, that they are, to me, like the most welcoming group of people probably that I've met as a collective. Yeah, and certainly we've got some people coming on the chat. Amy Ritchie's coming on from Fife. She's got a swimming group where GPs are referring people into it, you know, and things like that. So yeah. Stuff. Okay, I don't know if you want to hand the baton on to one of your team just to sort of introduce themselves.
Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Kate and stitch her up, I think.
Thanks, Jonty. Love you too. Hi, folks.
Hi, Kate.
My name's Kate Sunley. Live in the northeast of England, near Middlesbrough, and have been open water swimming for about 10 years after I got bored in the pool, having given up smoking and thought there's got to be an exercise I can do that will get me fit again. So having been a smoker of 20 a day for about 30 years, I then gave up, started swimming. My first visit to the pool, it was 12 lengths in the hour, and I think I crawled back to the changing rooms. Since then, I think I've got a bit further. I've done the length of Coniston, Ullswater, Windermere, and various other lakes in the Lake District. And I did this thing called an ice mile, which I think that Jonty person is responsible for. He was the first male and I was the first female disabled ice milers. But yes, so that was fun. And I met David a few years, 3 or 4 years ago, when I went to hit the wall in Ireland, and also was chatting about the North Channel relay, but we could never get it together. But finally, hopefully we have.
Wicked. And so prior to smoking growing up, have you always been sort of were you a water baby? Were you
more on water than in water.
right?
So holidaying on the Norfolk Broads, bit of sailing, bit canoeing,
Yeah.
nothing too major. And as far as swimming's concerned, it was a case of I learnt to swim at school. Actually, that was out in Saudi Arabia. Learnt to swim out there. Then didn't really swim much other than holiday swims until I stopped smoking.
Right. So sounds like we may have been crossing paths at times, because I'm from Whitby in North Yorkshire, so I'm not far from you, and we holidayed on the Norfolk Broads as well. So yeah, we must have been, yeah, you must have come down the A19 and flown past me at times or something. Yeah.
Probably.
So yeah, I don't know if you want to bring the next person in then, if that's right, Kate.
Oh, I think I'll bring Simon in. Not seen him for a long time. Hi, Simon. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Living the dream. So am I the youngest person on the team? Have I got that accolade?
You're the youngest.
Am I the youngest on the team, Jonty?
Good.
I don't know, actually. We haven't asked. You could be.
I could be.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an accolade or not.
Yeah, I think you could.
So far, it looks close. You know, it looks close between you all. I wouldn't like to pick.
So I don't know which way to start this. I suppose. I mean, I've always enjoyed swimming. But I injured myself in Afghanistan in 2009 after having a foot competition with an IED, and I lost, unfortunately, and I lost both my legs. Before I was injured, I loved every single sport, and I took advantage of all the sport and adventure training that I could get on in the British Army. In the winter, I did cross-country skiing, and in the summer, I did triathlon. I just did it really for the lycra. That was the purely that was all it was for. And then when I got injured, I tried loads of different stuff, but concurrent to all of these things I tried, swimming was all that was something that I kind of defaulted back to. And I started properly and regularly open water swimming probably in about 2011, and I haven't really looked back since, I suppose. I've done a few different events, just like Kate has. So I've done Coniston this year. I've done Ullswater this year as well. I've done Windermere a few times. I've done the Dart 10K, which was a lot of fun. Although it's cheating, isn't it? Because it's tide assisted. And actually, incidentally, I did the Dart 10K on the Saturday, and then the next day I did I drove back down to the south coast and did Brownsea Island on the Sunday, which was a bit of a mission. So I've done Brownsea a few times, and actually that was one of the first competitions I did. But I just wanted to kind of echo exactly what Jonty said, is if I hadn't had open water swimming or the community that goes with it, I think I'd have really struggled over the years. I don't know what kind of position or headspace I'd be in if I didn't have the ability to get in the water and actually feel normal again. Because that's one of the first things I recognised when I got into the water, that nobody could see what was beneath my neckline, and I could just be, in inverted commas, kind of normal again, and not worry about what people saw or presumed they saw beneath the waterline. So it was a key part of my, and is a key part of my ongoing physical and mental sort of well-being. And I suppose the last thing I'll say before we can throw somebody else under the bus is, when I'm in the water, I'm stood up. So although I use prosthetic legs and a wheelchair, I kind of use both. In the water, I'm stood up in the water, and it's a very, very nice feeling indeed.
I think that's one of the things, isn't it, about like swimming and it being that is such a neutral sort of playing field when you've got your head bobbing around. And I certainly at one point was into training for triathlons and things like that, but now I really love the just being able to chat to somebody and just see their head bobbing up and down and coming out of the water and everything like that. It's something I never would have thought of doing, like the sort of chilled out, relaxed kind of swimming. It was always a mission for me.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You can mix and match. Like sometimes I swim with my mates with the head up front crawl, whereas a head up doggy paddle stroke breaststroke thing that I do, and chatting with my mates. Or if I'm being really sort of if I want to get my head in and just go for it, then I'll do that too. And I suppose the final thing I'll say about pool swimming is I think those pesky tumble turners, they're cheating, and they shouldn't be allowed into. They shouldn't be allowed into the tumble turning. Should be banned, I think.
Right. We'll support you in your campaign there, Simon.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, so yeah, grab hold of whoever you want to throw them under that imaginary bus. Do you want to go, David? Or is it we've got David or Andrew? I think you've muted.
I'll go. Well, I have been swimming since I was I learned to swim when I was at primary school, and then I just wanted to learn to swim and started swimming about 16 or so, and I discovered like 400-meter distance and more. My times were good enough to get me picked then for the Paralympics team for Ireland, and so I played that, swam, played water polo, etc., etc. Then got married, had kids, got divorced, had drifted away from it, and then I met Martina in 2009, and by 2011 I started getting back. I noticed the growth of open water swimming around where I live. I started getting back into it, and then one night, Jonty knows Padraig Mallon, and I was sitting and we had a water festival where we have loads of people go into a local lake and different events, and we run it in our committee, and we were sitting having a few beers in 2012 after this, and I had to sign a note that I wasn't allowed to see, and the note said swim the North Channel in a team of 6 next year and don't feck it up. And so I didn't see the note when I was signing. And so the next year, team 11 feet, 6 of us from 11 feet, we got across the North Channel, and I swore I'd never do it again. And the next year I was doing it again. And then 2 years later, we swam the English Channel in a team, which was put together in a week. So I'd been talking to Jonty a few times, and I talked to Kate about getting a team across the North Channel. I happen to be the first amp to go across, but I genuinely do not want to be the only person with an amputation to go across it. I think it's something that, with the people I surround myself with, and I know others agree with it, you have to be, the people recognize something I have and make me achieve that by helping me along the way. And if that means physically helping you and getting you out to swims, etc., they do that. You know, they don't take prisoners lightly. You have to they expect you to do the same training as everybody else, because the North Channel doesn't say, oh, we'll go easy on you because you're an amputee. It'll treat you equally, you know. So I really am just so chuffed to have this team together, you know, just to give other people to have a team of amps going across the North Channel will be something different. It will be something that's going to be special. I am working in the background, and the team know this we're talking about access and into the water, exit. You know, Infinity are working with us. We're going to get a boat with a ramp in the back of it. With a couple of good, strong people on board, basically to get us out with needs be, and the Irish long distance are changing. They've done a good article there recently about swimming with people with disabilities and making it open for everybody. It's been a lot of common sense, etc. So there's a lot of work going on in the background. Hopefully that's going to continue, and I think events like this and teams like this will make that better. But the guys know it's not going to be easy. They know that they have to do the training prior to that, but on the day, I think there's going to be a lot of goodwill, good spirit, and you know, hopefully the North Channel will grant us passage as well across that day, and the BBC are also hopefully going to do a bit of a programme on us. And this all sort of did come together through Scott, who get me talking. Through that we met Mary, and I'd given another talk, and I got a message from Jonty one day saying, it sounds like you're looking to put a team together. And that's where it came from. So we did get a team together of amputees. It's, you know, but that's really all. And, you know, it's you guys who are going to really shine that day. You know, we'll all do our bit, but I just want you guys to really, really, really enjoy all that I've enjoyed out of this. So that's it. I'm on a few words.
So with Bluetonic, then it was just part of that networking a little bit, was it? And just sort of helped see.
It opened up the door,
Yeah.
Scott, and it gave us another great outlet that get people like yourself. That was great to involve that, and through that we got 3 to 4 people out, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if are you guys going to be going out to Ireland to train? You think?
If the BBC come through with their offer that they could be all hoisted over here for a bit of training, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can say it's an amazing place in the world to swim. So yeah, with me and Paul, I think my brother's popped along tonight because he loved going over there and everything like that. But yeah, swimming in the locks in front of the castle. Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I love the setup out there as well, with the Channel swimming team out there. Infinity, isn't it? And I did win my swimming hat, which I don't like to talk about, but yeah, and I got a medal as well for swimming in front. Anyway, we won't talk about that. Right, so we've got left, haven't we? We've definitely got Mary and Andrew left. David,
we'll keep Mary to the end. We'll go for Andrew. How's that sound?
Oh, we've gone for a local lad. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, local lad. I live in Rainworth, which is about 12 miles north of Nottingham. So Nottingham's a popular place. And I first started open water swimming in.
But if you go and work for Amazon, you get a sign-on bonus.
First started swimming in 2016. Nottingham City Council did a free introduction thing with Mel Berry at Colic Country Park, and I took advantage of that and took a lot of inspiration really from Mel Berry, encouraging me to swim and swim more front crawl than breaststroke, but I started to have more problems with my leg. I became an amputee in year 2000 following a collision with an articulated vehicle, which obviously I came off worse and was very lucky to survive that, actually. But anyway, I started to have more problems with my leg, and so I stopped swimming, and I gained a bit of weight, and I couldn't get back into my wetsuit, and etc. etc. So I stopped swimming then, and then I started again this year. I started swimming at Spring Lakes at Long Eaton, which was great, and they helped me financially, being disabled and unemployed. I got a concession there from them, so they were great. And but then I found Love Open Water and realised that Hoveringham was a lot closer for me to travel to, being only 10 miles away. So I've swam there all through the summer, well, spring, summer, autumn, really, and I've swam 30k in total this year, not in one go, I have to say. My biggest swim was a 3k swim on the summer solstice swim at Spring Lakes, which I have to say I did struggle with, but I know what I need to do to get my strength and stamina up. So I don't have any problem with the swim that's coming up next year. I'm really excited about it and so pleased to be on the team. In fact, I don't think I'm sleeping very well at night. I don't sleep anyway, but I'm sleeping a lot less now because it's just going around and round in my head every night about different things. That I've just read Tom, I keep forgetting his surname, Tom Blower's account of his first crossing in 1947, and he was born and bred in Nottingham, and it's been a great inspiration reading his story about his journey.
I haven't read that. That's one I'll have to put down on my list.
Oh, it's a book by Martin Strain.
Yeah.
And it's called Tom Blower, the Humble Hero Who Conquered the North Channel. Obviously from Donegal to Port Patrick. And it's fantastic.
So no wonder that's got things like spinning in your head then around the excitement.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've not long finished it. I'm going to start reading it again, actually, but I finished it a few days ago, and it was quite exciting to see all that happened once the swim was completed. He spent a night in Port Patrick celebrating, and then got the boat back across, followed by 14 other smaller craft as he got nearer to Donegal, and 800 people, waiting and shouting and cheering, greeting him on his successful swim. So all of that is sort of buzzing around, So I'm definitely I think that that we'll obviously manage the swim. I don't see any problems there with that, and I'm really looking forward to getting started training. I've had an infection for 3 weeks, so I haven't really done much training at all, or any swimming for 3 weeks. So tomorrow is my first day back in the water at Hoveringham.
Right. No, I mean, two beautiful places to swim, Hoveringham and Spring Lakes. Yeah. So I've been spent quite a bit of time at both. So yeah. So my first experience, like coming back, well, one of my first experiences, like going swimming in Loch Lomond, was like one.
Wow.
First swims that I did that I loved, one of the great British swims.
Yeah.
But then realising before Spring Lakes was actually built that people were getting in those gravel pits, and one day someone from work just took me down there before it was all built, and I was just blown away by just that cold water sort of type swimming in there. So yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. I suppose I should add that I learned to swim as a young child, and I swam with my brother. We were sort of 9, 10 and 11, and we'd swim 2 or 3 times a week. We lived in Chelmsford in Essex, and we'd be allowed to get the bus on our own, and we'd go down into the city centre and swim, and I've enjoyed swimming ever since, and swam a lot on holidays and you know, in the sea and different places, and just love swimming.
Yeah, cool. No, it definitely comes across. Thank you so much, Andrew. So I guess Mary is no pressure. Mary, you've got to follow along.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I'm Mary. I lost my leg when I was 17. I had a very aggressive form of bone cancer, so lost my leg above the knee, and had all the, you know, chemotherapy, blah blah stuff, which was, you know, very traumatic. But I guess at the time, my daddy was a GP in Blackpool. He had always taught us to swim. So I learned to swim from the age of 3 because he was absolutely paranoid about us drowning. And the first thing he sort of told me when I'd lost my leg, and I was like, well, I was very athletic. I did a lot of running. I did a lot of gymnastics. I did a lot of ice skating. And I was like, well, what can I do now? And he said, well, you can still swim. So the summer after I'd lost my leg, he took me and my sisters on a holiday, which we'd got a private pool, and he basically taught me to swim again because I was a big breaststroke swimmer, and he taught me to swim crawl. So that was kind of my relaunch into, you know, into rehab, I guess. I've always lived near the sea. So I grew up in Blackpool. I went to university in Liverpool. We then went to Australia and lived by the coast. And when we came back from Australia, we're like, we can only live near the sea. So we applied for jobs all over the country by the sea and ended up in South Wales on the Swansea Gower coast. And I now live in Cardiff. So I've always lived near the sea, and I've always been drawn to the sea and to lakes, and, you know, wherever there was water, I would just jump into it, really. A lot of my uni days were spent up in the Lake District. So I've always loved swimming. I've always loved open water swimming, but I wouldn't ever have considered myself as, you know, an open water swimmer. It was just something that I did when I saw a nice body of water. So I've never done any big events. And in fact, I've never actually ever met another amputee who swam until David and I became Facebook friends after I think I'd replied to some comment on somebody who was asking a question about how can I get into the water on crutches. So I replied, and David picked up on this, and we've been Facebook friends ever since. And he nagged me to join this event. So that's my story. I guess I really increased my interest in open water swimming about 4 years ago. Yeah. Following a bereavement. So my day job is I'm a consultant psychiatrist. So I work with a lot of people with really severe depressions. And after this bereavement, I got really low and didn't really know how to deal with it. And just happened to go on a holiday to the Lake District in February and decided I'd jump in the water to see what happened. And it was like I could feel again. It was like my emotions just clicked back in, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so I've been swimming open water swimming ever since through the winter. And I just find the therapeutic benefits of it incredible. It's, you know, 2 minutes in cold water is essentially like an hour's therapy session for me. So it's been really, really amazing and kind of got me back. And since that, since I jumped into freezing cold water in February 2017, I haven't really looked back. So yeah, that's my story.
There is, yeah, and what never ceases to amaze me that every time, like, probably from everybody's story there was some like thing for me that resonates with when anyone's talking. With you, Mary, it was definitely about the bereavement, and I can almost like mirror your experience of like suffering from a bereavement with my father in my case. And then, yeah, years later, sort of getting back into swimming and realizing that, you know, and stuff like that. So It's just such a powerful thing, and I think that there's so much around getting people out, and the term green space is used, but I think that like getting into blue spaces, it gives you an even bigger kick for me. I don't know, but that's my...
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, there is something about being in open water, an open water space, that it's exercise, it's nature, but it's also something about the response of being in cold water. It does something to your brain.
Yeah. It's
something
like
very good to your
instant,
brain.
Natural, like in almost intense mindfulness. Bang, just straight into it. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of research now on, the benefits of cold water swimming on mental health, and I think we'll be talking about it a lot more in the future.
Yeah, 100%. So, well, it's lovely that we're with a lot of like-minded people and stuff. What we do now as part of the chat, which I forgot in the introduction, was that we do always just break into breakout rooms just to meet people who've come, and just to get people networking even more. So obviously, if people are shy at the moment and keeping the camera off because they don't want to be YouTube stars in the future, I understand that. But the breakout rooms, they're not recorded. So it is nice if people can put the cameras on and just have that sort of like intimate conversation just about anything that resonates in this chat, or literally just to talk about why you're along, why you're interested. It might be the first time, you might never have been for a swim. We've had people that have never been for a swim come to these, or it might be that you swim regular, so talk about where you swim, whatever. So we're not here to police this, but please just be respectful and be nice to each other and stuff like that. I host this a little bit, but I do go and say good night to my kids now. It's something that probably Jeremy Paxman doesn't do, and people like that when they're doing sort of, does he do chat? Anyway. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'll pop into the rooms and just say hi to everybody, and we'll bring you back in about 10-15 minutes. And then at that point, we'll field questions from the chat from the audience. So you guys will sort of spotlight back on you guys, and we'll get some questions from everybody in the audience. So I'm sure it'll tease a lot more out of your stories and stuff. But okay, so we're going to open things up now. So anything that sparked or any questions that people want to ask, you can come forward to them from your rooms or whatever. Paul, I don't know if you want to just update us what you guys are chatting to in your room, because I know I came in and was a bit all flustered, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice room. We said hello to everybody. Alison didn't realise we were on camera or microphone, so she just joined us. So we've been having a bit of chat message to her. So that's really, really great. Kate spoke to us about her open water and some of the coaching she does. And I was really lucky. I had David and Kath in my breakout room, so I really didn't have to talk a lot at all. It's two superstars of the open water swimming fraternity. It was great. So no, it was really nice.
Cool. I think we had
Hi,
yeah.
Lovely to see you, and Jonty and Andrew. I didn't realise you were doing this.
Where are my Welsh cakes? Where are my Welsh cakes you keep promising me?
They are in the boot this evening. I've been to the shop for you and Leon. I'm coming up Saturday. They are in the boot ready.
Can I have some too, Kath? I really like them.
All right. But yeah, I missed a few bits. Sorry, so I'm glad you've recorded it. My sister's had to go into hospital, so I'm like, da-da-da-da. But no, I think you're all ace. And we're there the same week as you. I'm doing a relay the same week with some of the Welsh folks.
Right. So
we do in the North Channel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Times.
As a relay, and the Henley Mermaids are all, we're all there in the same week. It's going to be a party.
No. Oh no. Fantastic.
Wick.
We'll all have to
Andrew
be
was
there when
hoping for an
people come in.
80% response, so get that.
So
Better get that.
If people have got questions, if anyone could like just type them into the chat, any questions that you want to ask, and then we can sort of ask you to come and ask your questions individually or whatever. But yeah, Paul, is there anything that sparked in your room or anything?
No, I think we were just all having a catch up. Kay and David had a good chat about some techniques and swimming, so that was really, really nice to hear.
That's me in trouble.
No, Kate, she said how lovely you were, so Kath was eager to come and say hello. So no, it was all positive, unless she's a good fibber. I don't know.
So we've got questions coming in. One question I'd like to ask you guys while some of the questions stack up a little bit is, it was the stuff that Jonty was touching on, and Mary as well, about that, the enjoyment of the sort of the pain side of swimming. I think you can explain it better than me, guys. I just sound like I'm painting a really bad picture of you, but yeah.
Well, what I would say is it's quite well known that when you dunk yourself in freezing cold water, you get a pain response. So the body chucks out loads of stuff that it would chuck out when you're in pain. So adrenaline, endorphins, pain transmitters. And it's kind of not new, because as Alison, who is also a psychiatrist, will know, in the days before there was medication for depression, they used to stick people in ice baths.
Yeah.
You know, if you were in an asylum in the 1930s, that was what you got. So, you know, it's quite, if you look back, it's quite well known actually that it does have this mood enhancing effect. I'm not suggesting we should do that now.
No.
But, you know, I think there's a lot of research going on now about the beneficial effects of open water and particularly cold water swimming. So, you know, and then there's all the other things, isn't there, about exercise and being outside and being with the people who, you know, a community who are kind of accepting and supportive. So, yeah, bring it on, I think.
Painful fun.
Yeah, painful fun. Yeah, less medication, more swimming.
Kath asking. Sorry, Kath. But yeah, I think you asked that when we were unmiked, didn't you? But when is your week? Is it the 23rd of June? Kath's asking.
Our window opens on the 20th of June.
Yeah.
20th to the 28th, so somewhere in that neck of the woods.
I can't remember when I saw, but you might be 10, but we'll catch you for the party after.
So, yeah, some of you guys have swam channels before. What are the after parties like, or is this just going to be a legendary one because there's so many of you all crossing at a similar time?
Well, mine, two out of the four, when we did the English channel, we went straight into a half Ironman in Castle Howard, so it wasn't much of a party.
What a way to celebrate, just more torture.
Jonty, we're having a party.
Yeah.
No, I am. I haven't booked my Ironman in September, so you know we've got plenty of time to recover.
Good. I'm bringing my dad over, who just happens to be 90 halfway through our window, so we'll have to have a party for that anyway.
Yeah.
Alison's just asked a question about how far is it. David, you can do the facts and figures.
In a straight line, or what you actually swim?
Both.
Go with the straight line.
Do both.
I think it's about 22k in a straight line, but you end up probably doing double that. Because they'll try to start you on the tide, and the tide will push you northward. And then the tide will turn, and you'll hopefully end up in Port Patrick, in the harbour. That's the plan.
Is it the same sort of trajectory as the English channel, where you end up doing sort of an S shape?
Yeah, it is like an S. An S, your Jordan Leckie this year, who just went across like a straight arrow, and he done it in 9 hours, just over 9.5 hours. Just unbelievable swimming, just unbelievable stuff. He just went straight across, just virtually straight line across the North Channel, which is really unheard of, you know. But you do a bit of finesse we'll probably be starting in about a 5.5 meter tide, which is quite a high tide, 5.9 meter tide or so, like, you know. So you've all that body of water coming out of the RC going through that narrow gap, the North Channel, and then when it turns, you've got all the water from the North Sea coming through that nice wee gap and going back into the RC. So yeah, it's very deceptive, because you think that you're within touching distance and you could have 2 more hours, you know. So, and that's the beauty of the North Channel, you know. You can until you see wee Scott on the whites of his eye wearing a kilt, then you're not really there, you know. And then you can see what he's eating for his dinner, and then hopefully we can touch the water. Most swims end up around the lighthouse, but there's a few of us have got in. We were very lucky. We got right into the harbour once, which was good. So we just walked up the steps, had a beer, and come back onto the boat and home. Quite unusual, you know, but it was good. But you generally, the answer to the question is you probably do about 42 to 45k roughly.
Is that further than the English Channel then?
I think it is, Johnny. I think it is. I think just the tide's that stronger, and just forces you up more, you know.
Yeah, the English is 21-ish miles as the crow flies, and so you end up swimming about 30. I think we did about 32, 33. We did ours pretty much 14 hours and 49 seconds, I think. So yeah, I think we did about 30. I did 5k an hour once, which plenty of you swim with me. Kath has definitely swum with me. She knows I'm not a 5k an hour swimmer ever. So
me.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that you can start in Donegal and you can see Scotland, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that far, but you know it'll be yeah.
It is renowned for being. It is renowned for being harder than the English Channel, isn't it?
It's renowned as the hardest channel in the world to do.
Yeah.
Because of temperatures, with tides, and our friends, the lion's mane jellyfish.
That was going to be my question. Any jellyfish or any other friends that you'll meet? Just jellyfish.
No, I was observing this year, and we had an old sailboat went past. We had 2 oil rig repair vessels and 6 Canadian warships went past as well.
I think Simon's just realised that
guy's name, Neil Aegeus, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Oh, sorry, I must be on not on mute. Sorry. No, it was about the jellyfish. It was something good. I listened to Neil Aegeus at the weekend at Kendal Mountain Festival, and he swam like a massive swim that was like 52 hours or something. And if you can watch his talk at the Kendal Festival, he was saying every time a jellyfish stung him, he switched his mind to thinking that it was zapping him with even more energy. And he was like, "Thank you, jellyfish, for that one." So everybody in the audience was like, "Oh, well, we're going to start loving jellyfish from now on."
Oh,
So,
I love that idea.
Oh, yeah, I like the idea of that.
yeah, he was like, yeah. So I just like switched my brain to say, "Thank you, jellyfish. I am strong. I'll go even further." That's what he said, wasn't it? It was. The whole audience was like, "Wow, we're going to love jellyfish from now on." So I'll go back on
you.
mute.
For
Sorry,
you and me, Mary. That'll be good for you and me, Mary.
jellyfish power.
Definitely.
I think Simon's had a bit of a panic. Obviously, and Tom Bloomer omitted any chapters about lions, men, and jellyfish in his book, I think. So Andrew's just put, what have you signed me up for?
Look on the bright side. The less leg you have, the less to get stung. So there you go.
Is that?
So these ones with below knee amputations are really just a scratch. So they've got more to get stung than we have, you know.
For me, it was the main barrier, the jellyfish. When David told me about this, I was like, I can't stand jellyfish. I'm phobic. But I'm learning to love them.
Yeah, I can't see there's many, people that don't have some kind of affinity towards jellyfish and stuff. But yeah.
I did a triathlon in Sweden. I just did the swim leg of it, and I seemed to hit every single jellyfish in the face, or with my face. And I just got used to it in the end.
Yeah.
It must have been jellyfish season in Sweden at the time.
See, I've not been stung by lion's mane, but what I've been from the northeast, I've been stung by various jellyfish, I think, but I'm not sure whether any of them have been lion's mane. But what's the particular thing that's nasty about the lion's mane?
Is it just the length of their tentacles, the fact that they go on forever and ever and ever?
Do they wrap around you and stuff like that?
Oh, no, that's an octopus.
I didn't know whether you could sort of like...
As news for you, Kit, they will wrap around you. They're just, I just think, I don't like them. Sorry, I just don't like them, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's the looks of them as well. They just look nasty, and you know, and they do hurt, you know.
Yeah, I got stung by something really quite unpleasant in Mallorca the other year, and I wouldn't recommend it. And I didn't think it was my friend, and I didn't say thank you very much for providing me with the energy at all. I said quite a lot of the opposite of that, actually. I really don't. It's as simple as that. But hey ho, needs must. Just crack on, you know. So I'm not looking forward to the jellyfish, I must admit.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are. Somehow.
No.
When I was scuba diving, the lion's mane got such long tentacles that you can be stung. You might not see the jellyfish, and you can be stung. So you got no warning of it.
Thank you.
Diving, you're looking around more than swimming as well. But they probably are not on the surface, though. Either. Let's be positive. They won't be on the surface. They'll be down looking for divers.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So for you, Andrew, it'll be your first channel swimming experience, will it?
It will, yes. The less talk about jellyfish, the better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it David and Jonty the most experienced channel swimming wise, or?
I did the English. Okay, I can't remember what you've done.
I haven't done any channels yet.
Okay.
North Channel relay next year, English solo the following year, she says.
Because I know when we were going to do ours, Loretta Cox was sort of saying, come up to Scotland, and she hires somewhere out up there to do like a team building event for channel swimmers and all that kind of stuff. How do you see that team building stuff going with you guys? You look like a great team.
For me, it's fitting it all in with everything else I've got going on next year. You know, and it's just genuinely I've got a really busy year because lots of stuff's backed up from COVID.
Yeah.
But you know, so it's next year is pretty mental.
It's that coiled spring syndrome, isn't it, for everybody? So that's what fascinates me about this. You know, like just as a challenge of getting 6 people together to cross a channel and stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, I only did the English channel because the team I did it with, my friends, they were already a team of 4, and then they got delayed a couple of times, and one of them couldn't do it because of she'd had so much time off pre-COVID that when COVID came, they got delayed and then couldn't pick it up, and so they said, "John, do you want to come and do it?" And that's how I ended up doing the English channel. I think they were on their 3rd delay, so in some respects, it was good for me because I got my relay shot, which I'm now talking about doing a solo. But yeah, next year is just for me is mental. So you know, I don't know when I'm fitting everything in. To be honest,
my part of it, because it's easier for me because I live over this part of the world, and it's a lot logistically wise. It's a lot easier for me, but because I have a wee bit more experience, my part is to try and make it easier for the rest of them and give them a wee bit of advice and stuff like that. And I think they're starting to. Poor Andrew, I think sometimes just was overwhelmed with all the stuff that we fired him, but no, it's that's my part of it. That's the bit I can do, is just to make it a bit easier. And if the guys have any questions, you know, if I don't know the answer, I'll get it for them. And I think that's simply because it's a lot easier for me over here because we swim more. But it's going to be a challenge for all of us anyway. Doesn't matter if we swim here or not. You know, it's. But it look forward to signing the wall in the pub in Donegal. That'll be good fun.
Hey, can't wait.
Yeah. You get to sign the wall.
Brilliant.
So that's in at the end of the crossing, yeah.
Yep. Well, you mightn't do it that particular day. It all depends whether we're going home or not. But I say we maybe stay around for a day and then the next day just go up and sign it. And we'll have a pint of Guinness, maybe.
So stay in Port Patrick for a day and then back
no,
to
you'll be on the boat to come back home again. You know,
straight. Right. Okay.
It'll take maybe 14-15 hours to get across, and then you'll be back home in 40 minutes. You know.
No.
Yeah. The joys of having 150 horsepower engines on the back of a boat.
Sorry, how long did it take to get back?
For 35-40 minutes.
Wow. Right.
Maybe a wee bit more, but not. You generally come back quite quick, you know.
Is that the same in the English Channel, or is that slower because you've got shipping lanes and stuff like that? Or
took us a couple of hours to get back.
Right.
2-3. It was enough time to smoke a decent Cuban cigar and have a glass of whiskey. You know.
Yeah.
Proper pro. You know, you got to get your recovery right.
Yeah, that's it. That's good preparation for a marathon. I imagine you with the cognac and the cigar and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, it takes about 2-3 hours because you know we don't have super high-powered boats to do it because you know the English Channel is really busy and it's really busy just with the shipping, let alone all the other problems that are in the papers that are going on, which we saw. You know, you do see plenty of that going on, and actually they can stop the swim. I hadn't appreciated that, but sometimes the French Navy will try and stop you if you're getting in their way of manoeuvres for what they're doing, and they have drones up flying around as well. It's pretty busy, you know, and the pilots get quite tense about it all. So understandably so. So it's a busy place to swim.
So I suppose that the Northern Channel doesn't have that same problem, does it? It's not as busy as shipping lane, is it?
It's busy, but not to the same extent, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw everything. We had container lorries and all container ships and all of that, but we had Border Force, Royal Navy, French Coast Guard, our Coast Guard, and all of those that were trying to get across, all going on at the same time.
That's just because they knew you were going across, Jonty.
No, there was that, and then I had a whale come up next to me as well, which was a bit
Oh, wow.
I'll take whale over a jellyfish anytime. It was, you know, it was a little bit disconcerting because you don't want the swim to stop. You don't want the swim to be stopped by something that is utterly out of your control, namely Border Force or French Navy. So yeah.
I was observing for swim this in September, and we had dolphins come up at the boat at 5 o'clock in the morning. A pod of dolphins come up, literally right beside the boat, and it was quite lovely to see. Thankfully, the swimmer didn't see them because of the. But 5 o'clock in the morning, these things just come right up beside the boat.
Wow.
Nice.
That's the thing to concentrate on, Andrew. The dolphins, the whales, not the jellyfish, and the Border Force police. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
And the submarines in the North Channel.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
But yeah. I watched that.
And there's always the danger of going over the Beaufort's Bank, and there's World War II ammunition that might go off as well. See if that had an attraction as well, you know?
You're not selling it, David. You're not selling it.
Tough, the sign, the line. Doesn't matter now.
Okay, yeah. fine.
As an outsider, I'm just watching Andrew's face, just
Great.
wondering what you guys are talking.
What am I doing?
Alison's just asked, have you got a Facebook that she can follow, support, and have a look at any training programs?
No, we haven't actually, but when I saw Alison's comment come up, I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. Well,
If there's anything you can share on the Bluetonic one, we'll obviously pop it out there.
Yeah, we'll have a talk about it in our next meeting, and I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
question,
great.
Alison. Thank you.
Yeah, anything to get things out there and for other people to look at and stuff. Yeah, if we can help in any way, certainly the offer's there.
Thank you.
I might be there for the Guinness, so I'll try and have a few of those. That's my training for you, to support you guys.
Might buy you one, Paul.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Oh.
The
Yeah, you're
best
buying the
pint I think
drinks
we
when we
had
get
was
back.
Pardon, kid?
I'm just asking if you're buying the drinks when we get back.
Well, if Jonty wants to drink his expensive whiskey, no. But
your expensive whiskey that you put a photo up on Facebook. Just saying, it was yours.
But no, this will be this. Yeah, I suppose I better buy you the beer. Just
when you think you'll all come together in real life? On day?
19th of June.
I don't know, David's talking about having a training weekend, which I think is probably quite a sensible idea if it can be fitted in and for costs. So, but yeah, it's just I think what I've found is that we're all sort of responsible for our own training, and we know what we need to hit with the qualifying swim, and all of that. So we know that. I don't want to use the standards is the wrong thing. We know what we need to do in order to do it. And obviously, Simon will appreciate train hard, fight easy type conversations are especially the way forward. So I think, we all know what's to be done, and David's very good at providing training programs for those that don't have them. And and those of us that do our own thing that works for us. So I think I'm so pretty confident we will be there. We'll be there, no problem. So, but it'd be good to try and get together to have a training week. I do think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, and Alison's just also dropped in about sponsorship and stuff. Have you got any thing where the can help you out with costs and things like that? She's saying dry robe ?
Guy who makes my limbs in Belfast, I'll be going to see him in January, and he wants to know about it, and he hopefully get his company hopefully come on board with a bit of sponsorship for us as well.
Cool.
Haven't talked to him yet, but he wants me to talk to him in January when I'm down with him.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could talk to the limb manufacturers, the Otto Box and the Blackfoots of this world and all of that, see if they could get on board and provide a bit of cash or some waterproof limbs or anything really, but mainly some cash to defray some of the costs, because as we all know, channel swimming is not the cheapest endeavour to undertake. So,
and that's where we got to when we were looking at the thing. It's like, I understood, I'd done the research in terms of costs and stuff, but there was a point where you start asking people for money. It was at that point where people started to sort of drop out, and also the commitment of, like you say, that week of being able to just be free for a week where you can go and do it. I suppose there's no absolute guarantee that the weather stays. You get one day during that week either, is there? So it's a difficult thing, isn't it, to try and coordinate it all?
Yeah, certainly fitting it in is difficult. Sort of my day job is full on, and getting the time to train in it itself is a challenge, let alone the amount of leave that we need to take. So by the time you've taken out the swim, that's a sixth of my annual leave used up. So getting extra weeks is challenging.
And that's why I'm probably at the advantage of the lot of them all. I'm probably the best placed here, so it is a lot easier for me. Particularly for training wise, I'm 5 minutes from a lake. As the guy, as the Paul and Scott know, it's literally on my doorstep, you know. And no, I'm blessed that way. I'm very lucky to have that thing.
Yeah. Simon's just suggested Stony Cove as a central meeting point. That is a beautiful place to swim, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys have swum there, but it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. Don't know if you want to.
Cap and Ray's easier for some of us. Great access, actually, and nice fish to swim with. I don't know who's swum at Cap. Kate, have you swum at Cap and Ray?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Where's that?
That's good. Just near Lancaster, just off the M6, so near the lakes. It's a diving lake, and they've got really cool stuff that you can go and look at. But they've got these tame carp. Are they carp or the huge trout? I can't remember.
There's some carp in there.
It's carp, isn't it? And
I think
trout.
there's sturgeon on the bottom as well.
That's it. It's the sturgeon that you can feed and swim with,
and
it's great. And the cafe's very good as well.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Cap and Ray. Well, it's a big diving centre. And it's cold. It stays. It's cold. It's a lot colder in the summer than anything I've swum in around the Lake District, anyway.
Yeah. They seem to retain the heat better in the winter, the deep ones, but it depends whether they're getting the sun on them, doesn't it? Like some of them that get the deep ones that get the sun on, they do heat up a little bit, but yeah.
Cap and Ray doesn't seem to get the sun. My experience.
There's one at Bath.
Might be there in a couple of weeks' time.
Are you over there? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm over in Lancaster on the 5th of December, so I'm hoping to get to Cap and Ray that weekend.
Okay, cool. I'm down south. I might be down with Caroline Saxon swimming with her. Not that I've told her that yet.
You were talking about the wonderful community. I mean, I've met David once. I've met Simon once. I've met Jonty loads of times, but that's beside the point. I've not met Mary or Andrew, but they all seem like they're family already, which is what happens with the open water swimming community.
Yeah.
And it's, if you can get in there, that boost to your mental health is as much as a boost as you get as going in the water.
Yeah.
Because you're welcomed with open arms no matter what.
That's a really good point, because when we got back to swimming after lockdown, everyone said that, obviously we all missed swimming, but the biggest thing that we missed was actually the community, the sitting around after the swim, chewing the fat, having cake, drinking tea. And that was as equal in some respects to the mental benefit that you get from just freezing your proverbials off and then getting out. So yeah, I completely agree with that. It is so true. And for some people who were locked up, they didn't, they probably didn't have a huge amount of interaction during that dreadful period. So yeah.
Definitely.
Looks like over here we could be heading towards it again.
Yeah, you were saying the numbers have shot up.
Yeah, it's not looking good for us now. They're with 2 to 3 weeks to get under control, or else they're going to start shutting things down big time.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's in our hands now. They're really starting to make us catch ourselves on again, and people did drop it, but hopefully not.
Cheerio, Simon. Lovely to meet you.
Take care, Simon. That was
Simon.
great.
I've got to go and say goodnight to my kids.
Yeah.
Has anybody else any other questions? Maybe don't want to be boring you now.
Good night, Simon.
Feel free to open mics up and things like that, guys. Now, if you've got any final questions for the team, or anything you just want to say to them, to wish them well on their journey.
Definitely just from me. Thanks, guys. It's been really interesting. having only kind of dipped 3 times so far in my entire swimming career. But no, great. And the breakout room is really, really interesting. So yeah, just good luck, and yeah, start that Facebook page so we can watch you and keep up with you, because that'd be really awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Nikki.
And
Good luck.
Alison's
Good
just
luck,
asked
Andrew.
excellent question about doing a follow-up. So David, Jonty, Mary, Andrew and Kate, about how it's all gone, and just give us some feedback, give us the horror stories and the great after stories. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that next winter, just as because we tend to run these through the winter, or we can put one on specially for you guys straight afterwards if you want to. We'll see. We'll be in touch, and we can sort something out. So yeah,
that's really nice.
Well, if no one else is going to say anything, I'd like genuinely thank you guys. I'm blown away totally by what you're all doing. I think it's great that you're coming together to do this and stuff. Yeah, anything we can do, any sort of things that you think that you want to raise awareness about, anything that we can do to help, certainly we're around to do that and stuff. And we're glad that like we've played. I think it's a small part of like you guys coming together, but it's been really nice having David on the chat initially. I think that's where he sort of got a bit energized a little bit to sort of put this together after telling his full story. And if any of you guys do want to come back and tell like your own personal stories, check out Kathleen's one. I'm going to put, I think, David, we've got a recording of you, and if it's okay, we'll put that out there, your story and stuff on the YouTube channel as well, but I'll chat to you about that separately. But have a look and see what you think, and if you're not too shy and you want to sort of capture your swimming life, and we just do it chronologically, and we just listen to, like, you know, from growing up to certainly with David, it was really interesting to hear how losing his leg affected him as a child, and then how water like really helped him through different times in his life, really. So yeah, we got it warts and all from David, definitely. So, and it's just that you quite enjoyed the experience, I think, David, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It's been great to, as you said, it did give me a lot of energy, and it met me, you know, it's been a great thing, and it's good to see a team coming together out of this. And don't underestimate your part, Scott and Paul, but you've played in this, so you have done a lot to do this, and so I do appreciate it. I know the rest of the guys appreciate it as well. So,
yeah,
thank you.
Cool.
Give yourselves a pat on the back, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to hear. It really is. Yeah, we do put quite a bit in and stuff, and it's just we love hearing back that people have made some kind of connection. It's sparked a conversation and something's come out of it. So, but like I say, it's just been a fantastic chat, and thanks so much for coming on, sparing your time, and I hope it's helped you bond a little bit as a team as well, because you know, and stuff.
What a great looking team you are.
Cool.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it has helped. It's definitely helped, I think, from my perspective anyway, you know, being sort of the last one on the team. Yeah, getting to chat to different people. It was nice to chat to Simon in the private room, which I not seen or met Simon on Zoom before, so that's nice. No, it's good. It's all good.
I think if we've been part inspiration for this, like if we can, like I say, we've had people messaging saying they couldn't make it tonight, please record this and please get it out there. So like hopefully by people seeing this chat and stuff, then imagine if it inspires more activity to happen. You know, that's the hope that the snowball effect comes, and you 6 people are going to inspire even more people to get involved and stuff. So thank you. So yeah, just as far as the charity is concerned, just any keep an eye as it comes out on social media, any help sharing stuff, that's welcomed, and things like that, just to get messages out there, really. Yeah, just please keep in touch. Let us know how things go. If you want to come back on, that'd be great. But that's it, I think, for this evening, unless anyone's got anything else they want to add.
No, thanks everyone. It's been
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, your team bits. Go.
Yes.
Do it.
Good luck to you all. You don't need it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a lovely
Bye.
evening.
Good evening,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.